Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had a fantastic time. I feel so much gratitude for all the participants that were along on the journey with me.
Tuve un tiempo fantástico. Siento muchas gratitud por todos los participantes que
This was my first experience of the jungle medicine.
la
I've
experiencia
never been to the rainforest.
de el bosque lluvioso y de la jungla.
Very powerful.
Say what?
Very powerful.
Muy poderoso.
And I feel great gratitude for all of those holding space. Taita,
Veo que mucha gratitud hacia ustedes.
the Taita, and the musicians.
Y los músicos.
Very powerful. I feel very grateful and blessed.
Muy agradecido, muy poderoso. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, this is my first time in the Amazon and first time in a smaller group.
Esta es mi primera vez que vengo al Amazonas.
And
Estoy en un grupo pequeño.
I felt like the energy here in this Maloka had a profound effect on my ceremonies.
Dice que la energía acá en esta maloca tuvo un efecto profundo en su ceremonia.
And I've never slept as well as I have this week. Like, I had a bit of trauma over the last 10 years, and I normally only get about 2 hours sleep a night.
Dice que tuvo en los últimos 10 años traumas, que normalmente duerme como 2 horas y que nunca había dormido tan bien.
I've been sleeping very deeply, and then
Durmiendo profundo.
because of I think the place and all the people in the ceremony, I felt so safe.
Me sentí muy seguro en las ceremonias por la gente.
I normally have, when I get quite drunk, I normally have a lot of fear coming up in the ceremony. I didn't have any.
Sí, normalmente cuando me emborracho en las ceremonias sube miedo, sale miedo y que no sentí eso.
And also I found that the music affected me much more than not normally.
Y que la música me afectó positivamente más que lo normal.
Felt a lot of celebration and
Mucha
gratitude
celebración, mucha gratitud.
heart opening.
What?
Heart opening.
Me
Music, sort of safety that I feel here.
me sentí tan,
Allowed my heart to really open.
me permitió que mi corazón se abriera.
And but as a question, I'd just be interested if Pos could share some of the meanings of, like, during the healings, the sounds like that, I don't know, whoosh, and if they will have a purpose and a meaning as part of the ceremony.
Quiere una pregunta, dice que los sonidos como algo, los sonidos que hace we find in esta planta, ¿qué significan?
Conectando con la respiración, son
Connecting
lenguajes
with the breath.
naturales, ancestrales,
It's a natural sounds that are ancestral.
como vienen como desde, puede ser el tigre o
They
la
come
boa,
from the tiger,
guacamayo.
from the guacamayo, or from the boa.
And the click sounds.
It's kind of like a gathering of the energy and groundedness of the energy.
I mean, I know how it feels in me receiving it.
And how it feels?
Yeah, like it feels like it balances and
Él
cleanses.
siente que eso como que lo balancea. Digo yo que en mi experiencia ha sido que eso como que le da un final ancestral.
Ajá, claro.
Yeah, like some of them feel like they expand and
Uh-huh,
release things.
that's what it
and other
is.
things feel like it brings things into the ground.
Ajá, que como que expanden y los enraiza. That's what it is, exactly. That's how I feel I'm walking.
Especially sometimes when you do that hum, that is like,
Así que lo soplo y así. Yeah.
some of the chants, do some of those translate into English, some of the
Sí,
words.
sí, podemos traducir algunos de los cantos al inglés.
Pues nosotros cuando cantamos
When we
desde-
chant,
y a los elementos
we chant to the elements,
y a los amos,
to the lords of the medicine.
entonces están principios. Principalmente pues empezamos con el Gran Espíritu.
We start with the Great
con los
Spirit
amos,
always,
con
with the
los
Lord,
elementos.
with the elements.
Cantamos, digamos, al agua,
We chant to the water,
al viento,
The
a la
wind,
tierra, al
to the
fuego.
earth, to the fire. Those are the energies that are invoked. The idea is that during the chanting, the spirit energy or the spirits of those elements come into the person, they're invoked into the person to bring naturalness. Y digo yo que eso que hace es invocar, es lo que dice usted, o que entre en la persona y salga la naturaleza de la persona.
Claro, sí.
Ujú.
Claro, a veces se cantan los principios de origen a todo divino. Acá estamos cantando.
We're chanting to the beginning of the origin of the essence of those elements, to the divinity of that, to come into the person.
Sí, y todo lo que tenemos, los elementos nosotros los tenemos también, ¿no? El viento,
We have all those elements within
somos
us.
tierra, somos
We are
fuego,
earth, we're
somos
fire,
agua.
we're water, we're wind, air.
And the chants when you're blessing medicine, is that like
It's the
asking
same.
for permission and
Y los cantos cuando se está curando remedios, eso tiene que ver con la intención que la gente trae.
Sí, también todo está conectado, ¿no? Todo
It's all
está-
connected. It's related also to the intention that the people bring. Those are invoked onto the medicine.
so the intention that you're setting for the ceremony, like going deeper or something like that.
Yeah,
that's part of the chant.
Taita sees the energy of the people, and then based on that, he calls that onto the medicine. Digo yo que usted mira la energía de la gente, las intenciones, y que eso es lo que usted llama
Ajá.
a la medicina.
So like, if you were, would you call on different like animals and things? I've heard you say tiger medicine or things like that.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So if there's a certain intention, would you call on different animals or different spirits?
Que si, who has a phone ringing?
Una fruta que mandó.
Dale, suele. Que si vinieran diferentes gentes con otras intenciones, que si usted llamaría a otros animales o otras cosas.
Sí, prácticamente, digamos, estos animales, los ramos que decimos de la
Basically,
medicina son
it's
pues,
the lords of the medicine.
diversos, ¿no?
They're diverse.
Entonces ellos se diversifican, sí, de acuerdo también, claro, la intención y todo uno va poniendo la energía y todo.
It's also based on the intention of the people, and we put that energy into the medicine.
También con las plantas,
And
¿no?
also with the
plantas
plants.
dulces, plantas
Sweet plants,
amargas o
bitter
femeninas,
plants.
masculinas.
The feminine and masculine
Entonces
plants,
ahí cantamos,
and those are chanted.
cantamos y llamamos estas energías elementales de las plantas.
We call these elemental energies
y
of the
después
plants onto the
traemos
medicine.
acá y
We
acá
bring them here,
se va yendo a cada uno de
and
las
then that
personas.
starts going on to every person.
So when it's like at Finca Sachawasi, they often say at first to light some more bitter, doing more work. Would then you be calling on more bitter plants?
Que si las primeras dos ceremonias en Sachawasi dijeron que eran más amargas y las segundas más dulces, que si durante la cura del remedio se llamaban plantas más amargas durante esa invocación, esa cura del remedio, y más dulces durante la segunda vida.
Sí, o sea, eso significa que
That means
cuando dicen amarga es
when they say
porque
bitter,
pues, vamos a limpiar primero.
it's
nuestros
because we're going to
cuerpos,
clean first
sí, lo que no nos pertenece,
what does
entonces
not belong to us.
se va, digamos, a ese estado, digamos, como
It goes into,
Como
the
de
person
limpia.
goes into that state of cleansing more during the first two ceremonies. But it's always like that. Digo que siempre se está limpiando.
sí, sí, a la vez.
You're always aligning with the naturalness of the person, right? And the unnatural aspects of us, belief systems, emotions, the things that don't belong to us, they're always shedding off. But the last two ceremonies tend to be more of a celebration, sweeter, more fun in a way, you know, so we can step out, you know, with a more joyful heart. but the cleansing, say, happens, easily during the first 3 ceremonies, I would say.
So just one more
Please.
question. In my last 2 retreats, like in Finca Sachawasi, I was finding myself humming a lot.
Durante mi retiro en Ambiwasi, hacía mucho sonido.
And then here, I wasn't humming, but when I would get really drunk, I was moving around a lot.
Y que acá no estaba haciendo sonido, pero cuando estaba bien borracho me movía. Caminando.
Yeah, and I've kind of been encouraged to be a bit more still. I was just wondering if you could comment.
You weren't encouraged to be more still?
Yeah.
You were not.
I was encouraged, yeah.
You were,
Like to try and stay on my bed a bit long.
but by the medicine?
By helpers.
By helpers here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what's the question?
I was just maybe if you can just shed some light on that process of why would I start humming or start moving
Entonces
around.
él quiere preguntar por qué es que él hace el sonido ese y que por qué se estaba moviendo, que lo hacía moverse la medicina acá. Que cuando estaba acá también los ayudantes le decían que sentar y que estuviera más quieto.
Claro. Sí, son manifestaciones de la medicina que
Manifestations of the medicine.
sí, cualquier, digamos, movimiento o
Movement.
cualquier reacción que haga
Or any reaction
es de
that
esa manera
arises.
que está eliminando
Is the way in which a medicine is cleansing
situaciones que no es perteneciente a uno,
situations that don't belong to
como
us,
natural, entonces
that are
lo
not
está
natural.
conectando, lo está balanceando,
So it's connecting you and
que se
balancing.
va representando así, de esa manera.
And it's in this way is how it presents itself.
Right.
Sí,
So
a
it's
veces
something-
también pues entra también como la medicina, no la planta, que es como, digamos,
Sometimes
pues,
the
tomamos
medicine.
medicina tigre.
Since this is a tiger medicine, the one we were drinking,
Allá el tigre está ahí dentro,
so the tiger is there.
entonces eso es lo que
The
le hace
jaguar.
como a veces también, y esos gestos, ¿no?
So
Como-
sometimes those
reacciones
gestures
que
or
vienen
reactions arise from that.
Because I found myself often going out into the grass, we go model
Ajá, so exactly.
the ground.
Dice que le daba por irse al pasto y ponerse en 4 patas.
Ajá.
Yeah, that's that.
Right. So
And
it's okay,
the energy
that's-
of the jaguar, of the tiger, is very subtle, very smooth, but at the same time very powerful. So it's bringing that calmness of the jaguar, and the jaguar is over here in this realm of the earth. So it's teaching us to walk over here in a very smooth way, in a very quiet way, and also with that inner power and inner trust in ourselves.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks both of you. I've had the rest of me.
Muchas gracias a los dos. Y estuvo maravilloso. We're very glad you came and that you had a good time. Who else? Next. Miguel.
Primero de todo quiero
First of all, si quiere lo dice en inglés. Y así yo le traduzco a él aquí más suavecito. ¿Le parece? ¿O quiere decirlo en español? Como guste.
sí, prefiero
Bueno, listo.
En Spanish.
First of all,
quiero expresar mi gratitud.
I want to express my gratitude.
Un viaje muy profundo aquí otra vez.
A very deep journey here once again.
Quería compartir algo sobre dimensiones diferentes, distintas,
I want to share about different dimensions
donde la medicina me trajo.
where the medicine took me to.
Por ejemplo, en ciertos momentos
For example, in certain moments,
me encontré como en el reino de la boa,
I found myself in the kingdom of the boa,
como inmerso en el agua, bajo agua,
immersed in the water, underwater,
y siempre está acompañado con sensaciones de náusea,
and it was always,
sufrimiento,
I was feeling nauseous,
de malestar,
of a sort of a sickness, say.
Entonces, la pregunta es si es posible también entrar en este reino con bienestar, con claridad, con fuerza.
And the question is if one could dive into this kingdom also with gentleness and with strength.
La pregunta es que el Señor dice que fue y visitó el reino de la boda, que siempre que iba al reino de la boda sentía náuseas y se sentía mal. Entonces la pregunta de él es que si se puede visitar ese reino también en un estado de más gentileza y de fuerza, para sentirse no es
bien.
tan necesario, o sea, prepararse o algo, no. Es que todo es la medicina y dentro de la medicina usted lo lleva a vivir como debe ser, como en el momento que, o sea, que se merece ser, así como.
So the medicine is taking you in the way that is needed at that moment. For you to meet that kingdom. In other words, to experience that kingdom is also releasing the unnaturalness, whatever is not aligned with that kingdom. So it's preparing you for that, and that is arising within you. So it's cleansing all those energies that are not aligned with that kingdom itself.
Sí, como pues la planta, la medicina es.
The medicine
Es una planta maestra,
is
¿no?
a master plant.
Que es muy diversa, ¿no?
It's
Sirve
very
para
diverse.
muchas, digamos, situaciones, ya sea espiritual, corporal, emocional, lo
So
que sea.
any spiritual, physical
Entonces,
situations that the person
Entonces a
carries,
eso lo lleva la medicina, ¿no? Digamos, eliminar todo lo que uno no le pertenece y a fortalecer lo que está con uno, ¿no?
the medicine is taking you there to strengthen those things that are in alignment and to eliminate those things that are not.
Y entonces ahí dicen los abuelos que esta planta, esta medicina es un libro, ¿no?
So the
Está
grandfathers say
plasmado ahí en el cosmos.
that this plant is a book that is
En la
set over
naturaleza,
there in
está
nature.
plasmado, entonces. Sí,
It's
entonces-
embedded in nature, in the universe, in existence.
Entonces todo ahí está ya en la madre, en la celestial, digamos, y ahí es
Everything
donde-
there is in
donde
the
uno puede-
celestial.
donde lo lleva la medicina, lo ingresa allá y le hace ver y le hace dar un entendimiento, ¿no?
So
Más
the-
profundo, más ancestral.
The medicine
más-
brings a more ancestral, deeper understanding of consciousness,
sí,
taking you to those levels.
Y entonces a veces uno dice, como entendí, pero no entendí.
Sometimes
pero,
we're like, I
pero
understood, but
a
I
veces
didn't.
le deja esa incógnita, esa pregunta es para sí, uno mismo, a través de los días, va a ir uno entendiendo, va a ir ahí conectando, ¿no?
And
Con su corazón, con su pensamiento, todo llega ahí exactamente donde debe llegar a encajar.
So in this duality of I understand but I don't, it leaves this question within ourselves, and then as time passes in the next few days, weeks or months, we start understanding more of what that meant as it starts grounding more into your life.
¿Algo más?
Sí.
Después lo que pasa muchas veces es que me salgo de este reino de la boa y conectado con el malestar.
And then many times it happens that I get out of this kingdom of the boa and out of this body feeling, this nausea.
Y me encuentro en un reino que yo lo veo como el reino del jaguar, como
And
tal
then
vez.
I step into the kingdom of the jaguar.
Y allí siento como un poder físico muy fuerte, como el físico está lleno de energía.
And then I feel a lot of physical power the physical body is full of energy.
Y ahí, por ejemplo, a veces con la música siento esa invitación de bailar, de celebrar la vida.
And then with the music, I feel this invitation to celebrate and to dance,
Y a veces,
celebrate life.
a veces ahí también me viene como una duda.
Then I have a doubt that arises.
Si es mejor como dejarse coger de esa energía y de bailar como casi como loco,
So the question is if I should allow this energy to overtake me and dance like crazy,
o de quedarme quieto
or to go into stillness
y simplemente observar,
and simply observe.
porque es como tiene otra calidad.
It has different qualities, both actions, both possibilities.
Entonces la pregunta es como esa diferencia entre dejar que la energía se exprese de manera física, con movimiento,
So the question is, should I allow the energy to express itself through movement in a physical way,
o de quedar quieto, así como
or to go into
regresado
stillness
y observando nada más.
and observe?
Sí, todo es válido, y todo
Everything
es
is valid.
interesante porque si aparece lo que aparezca, lo que sea,
What comes up
entonces
is what comes up.
eso le permite, digamos, mirarlo
allows
uno,
you
sentirlo
to
y
feel
estudiarlo, ¿no?
and to
Estudiar
study
en el
that.
momento, pero uno también está en el movimiento que está fluyendo, ¿no?
One is
Pero
also
también ya
in the
tiene la
movement that is
partecita ahí
flowing,
que uno le permite verlo, ¿no? Estudiarlo,
and it allows you to
este
study it.
miedo o esta emoción.
If it's
entonces
an emotion,
uno
if
puede
there's a fear,
ya empezar a mirarlo.
one is able to start becoming aware of it
Sí,
and seeing
a
it.
veces uno dice, bueno, llegó un miedo, pero yo no sé de qué es el miedo.
Every now and then one feels a fear that
Sí,
arises, and
entonces
one
ahí-
is not one doesn't understand what that fear is about.
Ahí en ese momento está uno de pronto a veces sintiendo o mirándolo, el miedo de frente.
One is able to see the
Entonces,
fear.
uno en ese momento, el primer pensamiento que se le vino acá a la cabeza.
The first thought that
Entonces, lo
arises,
primero que se viene,
the
algo,
first thing that arises,
entonces eso empieza digamos, a discernirlo, digamos,
that starts
a
to
canalizarlo, digamos. Entonces,
bring
viene encontrando
understanding.
la raíz y todo, mirar.
One start channeling, the transmutation, the healing.
Sí, entonces eso es importante, interesante porque
It's important and it's interesting at the same
porque,
time.
digamos, eso le permite uno, el yo interior, enfrentarse a eso, ¿no? Que no vengan otras ideas de otra parte, sino naturalmente que
And that gives also
que
the strength
salga
for
eso,
us
lo
to
pueda
face
uno
these things
mirar y
later,
sentir.
to become more empowered with
Y esa es la medicina,
this
esa es la
is the
cura,
medicine.
que cuando uno ya lo mira,
When one is
lo
able to
siente, ya
see
quiere
and to
decir
become
que ya
aware
están viendo la raíz y ya
and to
se
feel,
se
it goes
está
to the root.
eliminando ahí mismo, al mismo tiempo está
and
eliminando ya.
is transmuting, is healing the energy.
El último sería como a veces también pasa que me
Sometimes
trae
it happens that
al reino celestial, como
in the
eso
celestial kingdom,
en términos de éxtasis, eso es lo más.
Sí,
it's a deep
Intenso.
ecstasy.
Ajá.
It's the biggest.
Y allí también me pregunto a veces
Sometimes I ask myself
si hay manera
if there's a way
de entrar en esto conscientemente, con intención,
of entering there in a more conscious way with
Oh,
more
sí.
intention.
si es mejor que dejar que la medicina haga lo que haga sin intentar de cómo manipularlo, ¿no? Como de,
claro.
If it's best to allow the medicine to guide without us intervening and guiding it.
Claro, todo fluye en ese momento.
Everything
Como
is flowing at
debe
that time.
gracias.
ser. Yes.
It's like a combination also. of allowing yourself and participating with the medicine. It's a study also that is happening. Gradually, as one experiences the medicine more, one is studying. The grandfather used to say, everything that happens in a ceremony is perfect.
Digo yo que es como también una combinación que uno está estudiando conforme va tomando medicina, que el abuelo decía que todo lo que pasa en una ceremonia es perfecto.
Fernando.
Next person.
You still work out?
This was a very complete and deep UN experience.
Dice que fue una experiencia completa y profunda de sanación.
I arrived here
Llegué
after
acá
Sachawasi
después del lenguaje.
with a lot of symptoms of inflammation,
Llegué con muchos síntomas de inflamación.
and I had concerns about the impact the medicine was having on my body.
You had what?
Concerns.
Tenía como dudas acerca del impacto que tenía la medicina en mi cuerpo.
And the first night,
La
the
primera
purging
noche.
was so extreme,
Que el vómito fue tan profundo.
like so much inflammation.
You were vomiting inflammation.
It was, I was pissing yahe out my bum.
Estaba orinando yagé.
And I thought, oh my God, you know, I started to think, like, this medicine is poison.
Entonces empezó a pensar que la medicina era un veneno.
But I recognized
Pero
that
reconoció.
this is an old narrative.
This is what?
An old narrative.
Eso, pero empezó a reconocer que era como una narrativa, como una creencia vieja.
That my body is weak,
Que mi cuerpo es débil,
it's too sensitive,
que es muy sensible,
I cannot handle the things.
que no puede manejar ese tipo de cosas.
And so my practice was to let go of this narrative,
Entonces mi práctica fue dejar que esas creencias se fueran,
to let go of mistrust and doubt,
dejar ir la falta de confianza
and trust and surrender.
y confiar y rendirme.
And you know, I was seeing this throughout the night.
Y estaba mirando esto a lo largo de la noche.
And the next day I felt very defeated.
Y la segunda noche me sentí muy débil.
But then I fell asleep for 3 hours in the afternoon, which is very unusual for me.
Me dormí 3 horas en la tarde antes de la ceremonia
And I woke up feeling
y
amazing,
me desperté sintiéndome maravilloso
like so good.
y muy bien.
So I went into the second ceremony feeling perfect
Me entré a la siguiente ceremonia sintiéndome perfecto.
and had the best night.
Tuve la mejor noche,
Just so much serenity
mucha serenidad,
and sweetness,
mucha dulzura
and it culminated in orgasmic intoxication.
y culminó en una intoxicación orgásmica,
So much beauty.
mucha belleza.
And I experienced myself as, what's the word? Oh, an ecstatic jungle witch.
Y me experimenté a mí misma como una hoja blanca de la selva estática.
And then even the next day, I
What does it
felt
mean ecstatic?
ecstatic,
Ajá.
like ecstasy.
Como en éxtasis.
And then even the next day, just felt so good. No fatigue.
Al día siguiente ya no sentía fatiga, me sentía muy bien.
And then my moon started,
Y después llegó mi luna.
and this was the most beautiful place to have to experience gloom.
Y este es el mejor lugar para experimentar la luna.
And I really was able to see how and experience how this jungle is like a manifestation of the moon time.
Y entonces pude mirar como la selva es una manifestación también del periodo de la luna.
And I felt like I can take this kind of deep medicine of the moon into my life from this faith.
Y pude entender cómo experimentar la profunda medicina de la luna en mi vida.
And I'm just there are no words for the magic of the jungle,
No hay palabras para expresar la magia de la jungla.
and how like thick and pregnant this location is with energy.
Y que como está de impregnada la energía de sanación acá en este espacio.
So I'm very grateful for Taita for
Muy agradecido con Taita
stewarding this very special place
por mantener este espacio tan especial
and allowing us to experience it.
y permitirnos experimentarlo.
And I'm very grateful for both of you and the musicians
Muy agradecido por nosotros vos y los músicos
and the food and the laundry
y la comida y la lavandería
and the friendship.
y la amistad. Thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Muchas gracias.
Very glad how it all aligned for you in the healing process. Next person.
I am very glad I came
Estoy muy feliz que vine
here, and I'm very grateful to Taita
muy agradecido con Taita
and to Leo and to everybody, and I guess just one thing. I had a very it was just interesting how the medicine teaches you things that you don't know about yourself.
La medicina nos enseña cosas que uno no sabe de uno mismo.
And I had a very profound journey on the second night, and I had a very hard time the first night, and I was fearful that the last time I went to Andawazi, I purged a lot, but I never understood that I had received anything. I knew that something had happened, but I didn't come away with.
La segunda noche yo una experiencia muy profunda, la primera noche estuvo difícil y las experiencias que he tenido donde igual se había vomitado Nietzsche y no había entendido porque había tenido una curación.
I didn't come away with insights or information or visions or a sense of progress.
Yo no sentí que había progresado en ambiguación, no había entendido.
And it was very difficult to keep the medicine down.
Era difícil mantener la medicina.
And that happened on the first night also, and I was fearful that I was going to experience a similar retreat. And that comes with it a feeling of pessimism and fatalism, and the idea that I cannot heal. Of course, other people can heal, and the medicine is amazing, but I'm too damaged or too weak or too whatever. And the second night,
La segunda noche
I took the first cup and I purged after some time, and then I took a second cup and I purged very intensely, and then I just remember nothing from then on.
la segunda noche después de la segunda vomité, ya no recuerdo.
And obviously I went very deep
and it felt like the medicine just put me to the side and said, you stay here, I'm going to go and do some work. And obviously I lost my shit to some extent, and which was, and that for me is a big deal to realize. So it was just amazing that to learn that I could actually surrender, even if I wanted to surrender for years, that it should for some reason happen here, and also that the medicine would do this in such a kind and tender way, where it says, you can do this, but I'm going to do it for you, and you don't need to feel any pain. I'm just going to remove the problem. And it's amazing. It's incredible. And then the next day, after the second ceremony, we went to the room and we lay all afternoon, just lay listening to music, medicine music. And I've never felt such a sense of calm and peace.
Una paz y una calma tal.
I'm very grateful for that.
Muy agradecido por eso.
And the other thing, like Georgia.
So what?
The other thing, like Georgia said, I did not realize that the presence of the jungle
de la selva
would be
sería tal,
such a vast and dynamic, but also calm thing that
say that last part again.
It's just insane. And I always feel like anyone who wants to do Yahé must do it at some point.
No matter
Because, it's another world. But it's like sitting
es como sentarse
under
debajo de
a soft waterfall, endless waterfall,
debajo de una cascada gentil de amor.
And the reason
Y la razón
that is sort of mind-blowing is because
eso
it just introduces the concept,
es
the idea
claramente porque se introduce el concepto y la idea
there could be an infinite cosmos.
Infinite what? Infinite what?
Cosmos
El cosmos infinito
of love.
de amor.
And if that's a possible idea,
Que si eso es una idea
then
posible,
everything changes.
entonces todo cambia.
So, everything changes.
Todo cambia. Thank you.
And I'm grateful to do. And everybody. Beautiful group.
Que el grupo muy hermoso.
Voy a decir algo.
Yeah, many times people come here and it's not until they're here, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to record a testimonial of your experience, because it's hard to convey these concepts that Adam was sharing otherwise. Because it's not until people come here and they experience a retreat like this, which is different from the other ones, whether it is in Costa Rica in Rhythmia or whether it is in Ambiwasi. There's something about this land, about this maloka, about the energy of the medicine that Taita brings and the healing that Taita brings, and the jungle and the river that can only be experienced here. And that's the reason why I wanted you guys to share in a short way that, which is really what you guys are sharing is really what this place is about. And you're manifesting it in a very exact way, and it's very nice to hear it. And that's why I wanted you guys to share it in a short way, in a concise way. Because for me, I have come here many times, and also I'm learning the same things that you're learning. How it feels to be here, and what this maloka is about, what the medicine is here, the jungle, the river, nature, how it infuses in us and how it changes us. So coming here is really a very special place that one can feel from the very moment that one steps in here. There's a feeling at the moment that you arrive here, you start feeling something different. There's a calmness, there's a possibility of sleeping like nowhere else. It takes us into a very natural way of being. And that's something that we're learning that is already infused in us, so we can carry it on as we go back to life. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I'm very grateful for the sharings.
Y digo yo que de lo que están compartiendo es exactamente lo que esto de lo que se trata, de venir acá, estar en la naturaleza, estar a recibir su medicina, sus addresses. Por eso yo estoy es que ahora voy a decir para que pudieran compartir eso, que no se puede explicar, es complicado explicar, cuando las personas entienden. Que a lo largo del tiempo que yo estoy viviendo acá, yo también estoy poco a poco entendiendo eso también, que ellos están presentando. Y les agradezco lo que están comentando.
Next person. Thank you, Adam.
The reason why it took me so long to say anything is because I have too much to say rather than...
La razón por la que me tomó tiempo para expresarme es porque son mucho que decirles.
So, first I would like to express my most heartfelt gratitude to you, Kakini, for Cordero,
Y que quiero expresar mi gratitud
by
a usted, a mí, a la moto,
Audrey, Elmin,
a él,
Daniel, Athena, for Georgia. I mean, absolutely everyone, because there's a great design, and we're all here to create this circle and
no hay nada que decir
for ourselves and the world.
a nosotros y para el mundo.
I've been on this journey for a moment, and the past almost 2 years since this type of initiation into
Este viaje durante un rato y los últimos 2 años han estado
wholeness, I guess.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Into wholeness. I don't know what exactly, but becoming whole.
Me estoy completando.
And it sounds simple, but it's been
Suena sencillo, pero ha sido
very challenging
Ha sido muy retante.
experience, kind of with superpowers.
Ha sido-
Is that true?
Say that?
I said, like, feeling like I'm, all these challenges are giving me, like, superpowers, but that's actual, like, our truth. That's our
Que estos retos me han traído poderes.
So, just being here on this earth, like,
Estar aquí en esta tierra
it gives, like, a new level of awareness to
trae otro nivel de presencia,
working with the elements,
trabajando con los elementos,
fire, the air, the earth, the water.
los elementos, el agua, el fuego, la tierra, el viento.
And the support of the nature spirits that are super techno.
El soporte que traen los espíritus de la naturaleza.
Like going all around all night to everyone, I still see everything.
Puedo ver todo lo que sucede. You mean during the ceremony?
Yeah.
En la ceremonia puedo mirar lo que está ocurriendo.
What I was going through could have been extremely terrifying and mental institution. But I felt
Puede haber
so
sido
safe.
aterrorizante como de una institución mental.
And I'm so grateful because even on my moon, which came early, which is the first,
Inclusive durante mi luna, que vino temprano.
Spirit told me that I needed to heal in a lucid way.
In a what?
Lucid.
Entonces el espíritu me dijo que ella tenía que curar en una forma lúcida.
So the 2 nights I wasn't there, I was in ceremony. The spirits were
Las
coming
noches
into
que ella no
the room.
estuvo acá, que ella estaba en ceremonia.
I purged, I pooped on myself.
During the night, so you weren't here.
Yeah.
Ajá, dice que se cagó y vomitó, así, cuando estaba en la luna.
And I was shown
Y me mostraron
a library,
una biblioteca.
and then all the golden keys came.
Well, golden.
Golden keys, like the door.
Ajá, y me mostraron una biblioteca y todas estas llaves doradas
This is gonna go. This is not.
en la habitación.
And then it went away. And then the second vision
Y en la segunda visión
was it's like artwork, like the new kind of thing with orbs that were colorful orbs.
arte que tenía órbitas de color.
And then it zoomed into the orb,
Entonces me metía en las órbitas.
and it was me alone in this like a space where I could see a horizon, but I was standing there.
Y yo miraba como un horizonte, pero yo estaba ahí detenido.
And so then during the meditation the next day,
Durante la meditación el siguiente día,
I asked about seeing myself in that vision alone, and so the message I received was that it was the part of me part of my soul left me at 13.
eso me gustó que una parte de mi alma me había abandonado cuando yo tenía 13 años.
And it was because of a lot of trauma that I experienced with my mother.
Y era por mucho trauma que me experimentado con mi madre.
And I never knew that this part of me was.
Y yo no sabía que eso se me
But then it brought me back, and I thought of all the things that I experienced, and I was like, oh, of course she left.
y miré todas las cosas que había experimentado y entendí por razón.
So when I returned to the Lord God on the 4th night,
Y cuando vine la última noche aquí,
I came back to myself
volví a mí mismo.
and became whole again. But the whole night felt pretty bleak. I was like, okay, well, maybe she's not coming back tonight.
Say that again?
I said that night it seemed pretty bleak about me returning to myself because it was just, so much cleansing of like My mind that I never knew was still so crazy.
Entonces dice que,
Esa noche sintió demasiado raro porque era mucha limpieza de su mente que ella ni siquiera sabía que tenía
And so,
mientras se completaba.
so to have this feeling back, this wholeness,
Siento de nuevo esa sensación de sentirme completo,
is so grateful.
que también era
I'm so
así,
grateful. This has just been perfect, and I don't feel great today,
que me siento muy bien hoy
but I feel great.
y que se siente muy grandioso.
It's you.
Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is the third retreat I made.
Semana
And
flotando.
the first one this year was in May with Wisnia, which is completely different to the Bali and Chindoy retreat here.
Ya lo que me
It was really challenging for me to survive the ceremonies. I drank a lot,
la ceremonia.
and I had a lot of purge.
Vomité mucho.
Sometimes everything at once on the restrooms.
A veces iba al baño, vomitaba y el baño todo.
But after every purge,
Después de cada purga,
I feel much better than before. It's like that something changed in my body during the purge.
cuando vomitaban.
And one of the biggest benefits I figure out here is
Entendí aquí
the nature,
esta
which
naturaleza
is absolutely present.
que está
Jungle.
absolutamente presente.
All the animals,
Los animales,
the birds, for example. And the biggest for me is the river. The river is awesome.
Y pues es muy interesante.
After every ceremony, I was swimming, and it was like I got a second healing
Y sentía
from
como
the
una
river
segunda
through
sanación
the swimming,
al nadar.
and it was, yeah, really, really awesome.
Que fue muy impresionante.
I never had this before. The water gave so much to me, even if I was not allowed to swim. But it was perfect.
Que fue perfecto.
And I really like the small group.
Me gustó mucho el grupo pequeño.
If you compare this to the other retreats, it's like a little family,
Es como una familia pequeña.
which is in 11 days. It's growing and getting together, and yeah, it's like having new friends,
Es como encontrar nuevos amigos.
which is really, really nice.
Es muy
And
hermoso.
I'm very happy to be here.
Estoy muy feliz de estar
And
acá.
this is not my last retreat here, I promise.
Esta ya no es mi última vez que
Because
prometo
it's-
volver.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I can't describe it with my words. But even the sounds during the ceremonies, when you're lying down after you purge, your body is feeling better and better, and you hear sounds from everywhere, which are going under the skin, like the animals here
Animales,
and the air,
el aire.
the wind, everything wants to heal you as well.
Todo está sanando.
Not only the medicine. And this is very, very great. I'm very grateful that
Están muy agradecidos.
that you both of you, Taita and Leo, make this happen.
Que usted y yo lo ayudamos.
It's very, very nice. Thank you very much.
I know you're very good. You're so glad. You look different. You look younger.
Younger, yeah.
You look completely different than the first day I saw you at Sachawasi.
Dice que se
Like, your skin's completely changed.
desde la
Like, you're
primera
glowing
vez
now.
Thank you.
We're going to have a pizza.
You can hear good now.
But I can continue.
Well, it's hard to talk about this.
Es difícil conversar acerca de esto. Say that again.
Beyond words.
Es más allá de las palabras.
Yeah. I learned a lot. I got a lot
Aprendí
of
mucho.
information.
mucha información
about the spiritual world and the physical world.
a través de, acerca del mundo espiritual y del mundo físico.
You know, actually, there is no difference between it.
Que no hay diferencia entre
Yeah. So, the spiritual world can materialize itself into the physical world.
el mundo espiritual se materializó a sí mismo en el
And the
mundo
physical
físico.
world is an expression of the spiritual world.
Y el mundo físico es una expresión del mundo espiritual.
It was quite a deep insight for me.
Es una entendimiento profundo.
Yeah, and every person is a materialized term of the spiritual world.
Esta persona es una representación de nivel espiritual materializado en el mundo físico.
Anyway. Yeah, that was a huge insight for me.
Eso fue muy grande para mí entender.
Ja, dann estoy muy agradecido por el Taita, por Leo,
Es muy agradecido. He's very grateful for Taita,
for all the people who make this happen.
por todas las personas que hacen que eso suceda.
Yeah, and for the divine,
Y de lo divino.
just can't go down the one.
Y me inclino hacia eso. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Gracias a todos.
Okay. Well, yeah, like Winfred said, I think it's just...
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, like Winfred said, I think it's impossible to try and describe the experience.
Yo sé
here
que como dice
in words.
Winfred, es imposible describir la experiencia.
But I think one of the biggest parts for me here was the nature.
Es que una de las partes importantes acá fue la naturaleza.
And before this, I was always hearing people say how important it is to spend time in nature and to be around the trees, and I just thought like, yeah, okay, like it must be good for the body or like good for the spirituality in some way, but I never truly...
Escuchaba a la gente que decía que lo importante es pasar tiempo en la naturaleza. Y decía, y decía, bueno, puede ser algo bueno para el cuerpo, lo espiritual.
And then during my first ceremony here,
Y durante mi primera ceremonia acá,
when I was like laying in the rain
cuando estaba
and just
acostada en la
with
lluvia,
all of the nature, I
escuchaba toda
truly
la
fully
naturaleza.
understood
Entendí profundamente
how nature is just like God physically manifested.
cómo es que la naturaleza es Dios manifestándose físicamente.
And that when we're connecting to nature,
Yes.
we are connecting to ourselves and therefore
Y al
to
conectarnos
God.
con la naturaleza, nos estamos conectando con nosotros mismos.
And so this whole retreat, this whole experience, and
Este retiro.
especially the nature,
Y
was
esta
just
experiencia, y especialmente la naturaleza,
really showing me my own beauty and my own light, which I really wasn't
me
seeing.
está mostrando mi belleza y mi luz que no la podía ver.
And through that, I was able to start seeing all of the light in everyone.
Y de ahí pude ver la luz en todos.
Yeah, this experience has been so beautiful and so deeply healing.
Esta experiencia ha sido muy hermosa y muy profundamente sanadora para mí.
It's given me so many insights.
Me ha dado tantos entendimientos.
Already helped to heal so many of the relationships in my life.
Y he podido sanar muchas relaciones en mi vida.
I was able to forgive my parents,
Logré perdonar a mis padres.
and I was able to see all of the pain that I was carrying
Y logré
within me.
liberar el dolor que andaba en mí.
I'm grateful to you, Leo, for the space that you held for me and the way that you showed up for me, especially
Muchas gracias por
during
por ayudarme.
And I'm so grateful to you, Taita, for
Agradecido con Taita
inviting us
por
into your
invitar
home
en
and
tu
sharing
casa. y compartir todo esto.
I look forward to being back here.
Say that again.
I look forward to being back here.
Está mirando que espera poder volver.
Oh, and the music. How could I forget? It was the first time that I truly felt like music was just like dancing with my soul.
Es la
and I
primera
felt
vez
so
que sentí
inspired to
que la
explore
música
music.
estaba bailando, danzando con mi alma. Muy agradecido. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I love you all. We became such a family, and it was so special for me. So thank you to everyone on like an individual level and for
Muchas
the
gracias a
family
todos de una
members.
forma individual.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
I wanted to say, what really struck me was how the people who are here
Algo que me impactó fue que la gente que estaba aquí
are just so consistently sweet.
son tan insistentemente dulces.
Like Ines and her husband,
Inés y
and all the fire guys. You walk past the fire guys in the middle of ceremony, or you walk past the fire guys the next day, and they just look up and they smile,
que siempre están
and it's so natural.
que es natural.
And you look at Ines's two little boys,
Inés y sus niños
and they have so much love.
tienen tanto
They don't know what to do with it.
no saben qué hacer
They
con-
just they don't know what to do with it. They see you and they go,
qué hacer.
and it's like that is what people actually are.
Esa es la forma en la que la gente
But
realmente
you
son.
live in a city, that is not what people are able to be. They don't realize that that's what they do. And it just makes you think, if this is the people that this tradition produces,
Esta es la gente que
then
se produce.
this tradition is unarguable. It's the truth.
Esta tradición
That is
es indiscutible.
And the other thing I was going to say
Y otra
is,
cosa que quisiera decir,
on a physical level,
a nivel físico,
I've had, it's too much information, maybe, sorry, but I've had a fungal infection. I actually love them. I respect the mushrooms. But I had a fungal infection in my toenails
Ya
for
tenía
years.
como una infección
It's really ugly and annoying and embarrassing and shameful. I'm like,
en sus
sus uñas de los pies.
and recently
Y recientemente
I took some medication,
tomé una medicina.
strong Western medication that messes up your liver
de
and blah, blah.
medicina fuerte que jode.
And in 3 months, no effect.
Y durante 3 meses no hubo efecto.
So I went back, I took more tests, we did a different medication,
Dieron otra medicina.
and he said, maybe this will work. I've been doing it like a month and a half. I'm halfway through.
Hace como un mes y medio.
And I was here, we got here,
Y llegué
I stopped
acá,
taking the medication.
ya paró de tomarlo.
And I looked at and like, it's not working. They're the
No,
same.
está
They're like,
trabajando bien.
you see where it's growing? It's still like yellow.
Todavía está como amarillo.
Whatever. That's my burden. I'm a freak, you know. The morning after my second ceremony,
Y después de mi segunda ceremonia,
I looked at my toenails and they're pink.
y ya miré las uñas y están rosadas.
They're like clean,
Están limpiados.
crazy. I'm like,
Que ya vuelve.
so it's like the medicine was like, okay, let's push it out
Y la medicina lo empujó para que saliera.
and put it in the river.
Y que está limpiando.
Gracias.
To Adam's toes.
Qué linda toes.
Uñas de los pies de-